Hey friend, and welcome to the Camera Brave Show. My name's Marissa, and I help people fearlessly create content and find their own beautiful voice. In this show, we talk all about strategy, mindset, and confidence, not to mention the power of storytelling through my personal favorite thing, video. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's dive right in. Hello, friend, and welcome back to another episode of the Camera Brave Show. My name's Marissa, and this is episode number 33. Today's episode is actually inspired by a conversation I was having in my DMs on Instagram with another business owner, and the topic came to talking about standing out online and specifically what success in video looks like. So in this episode, I want to share with you my thoughts on standing out online and what success in video looks like. And I truly believe that it has so many different forms and so many different shapes and sizes, but I think the most important thing regarding success is for us to understand what our own definition is and how we're approaching it. So it's really the whole mentality regarding video and the online social media space. I think that this is going to be super powerful for those of you who have not even started taking video yet, because the ideas behind standing out and the ideas behind success that you may be holding on to, even if you're not acknowledging it or realizing it, they may be what's stopping you altogether from even starting. If you feel like the game is over before you've even played, then it's really tough to get encouraged. Like if you feel like the odds are stacked against you and that you are not going to be able to create the type of content that's successful, then it's going to be really hard for you to get passionate about your messaging and about the story that you have to tell and talking about your business through video and using video as the free resource and tool that it is to leverage your business. So let's talk about success on video. When you think about content creators or businesses with large platforms, or just someone that you maybe really admire that is taking video or doing really well on video, what does that image look like? Do you have a type attached to that definition of success? What I mean by type is there a certain age that you think of when you think of success on camera, or a certain look, a certain weight, a certain type of hairstyle, or even like a fully contoured face? Do you already have something attached to what successful content creators or successful businesses with booming social media videos look like? The conversation that I was having on Instagram centralized around having a certain look, and that being what this amazing woman had associated with success online. She said she felt like when she was looking on Instagram, everyone that was successfully creating content looked the same. They had this certain look to them, this certain age, this certain style, and it was very different from herself. So before even starting to create content, she'd already kind of had this idea of, well, all of these people are successful and they look like that, and I am so different from this. So I've honestly never thought about this idea of standing out or looking different as something that's negative, but I'm really interested to explore this conversation and to talk about it a little bit more. But here's why I think I've never approached it from this angle of standing out being bad. If you've never seen me before, if you've only ever listened to me on the podcast, then you may not know that I'm a redhead. I was born a redhead, been a redhead forever, never dyed my hair or colored it in any way. That has made me stand out my entire life. Never asked for it. It just happened. I never was like, I've got to be different with my hair. It just happened. I have a cousin that is like my twin. She's got gorgeous flaming red hair, and I have more strawberry blonde, whatever. I've always wanted it to be a different color than it is, of course, but never enough to sit through dyeing it. So redheads make up like 2% of the population or some bizarre, constantly shrinking number. And it becomes more rare and rare. So even growing up, before I even really understood what beauty standards were or really even self-image was, I knew that I stood out and I was born that way. So I just went with it and I never saw it as a bad thing. I never made the drastic decision to attempt to stand out. It was just sort of what I was born with. I've just always sort of leaned towards the side of a more natural look. Maybe it's honestly just because it's easier to maintain. I don't have a ton of patience to sit and get my nails done or my hair done or anything like that. So I've just always found joy out of taking what it is and calling that good enough. So being that that was just my situation, not by choice, but just the way that I was born, I've never seen standing out or being different from all of the other people in the room as a bad thing. And I don't necessarily think I saw it as a good thing until maybe 7 or 8 years ago when I started to get more and more spokesperson work. So when it came to the competitive field of being an on-camera spokesperson, having red hair not only helped me stand out, but it helped me get jobs because I was different from the other spokespeople. And just the complete odds of having red hair, which is, statistically less than having blonde or brunette hair, was helping me to get more clients and to get more jobs. So that's when I started to kind of leverage it to my advantage and realize, okay, not only do I stand out and it's not a bad thing, but now I stand out and it's kind of good. So back to today's topic. I never necessarily associated success with a certain type of look. However, I do agree that when I go on Instagram and scroll through reels, I do see a lot of the same type of person or people who look very similar. However, I'm almost positive that that is because of filters. If you look at a reel and you see the filter that that person's using, have you ever clicked on it and seen the extreme ways that it alters your own face? So when you look at your face that it doesn't look like that. And then you put on this filter and you just have this crazy look, and maybe you love it. Maybe it makes you feel amazing. And if so, feel free to use them. For me, it actually kind of scares me a little. And I think, whoa, I don't look like that. That woman looks stunning. And it's almost kind of made me distort my own image of what I see in the mirror because I really like what I see in this filter. So I really try to stay away from the extreme facial altering filters because I really want to make sure that I'm still liking what I see in the mirror. And I want to like that more than I like me filtered. And I know that may be an unpopular opinion and that's completely fine, but that's how I truly feel. So if you're seeing all of these very similar images on social, I really think that's because these filters are taking all of these faces that are beautiful and unique and different, but applying the same shape to them. So it's like this contour sort of effect that I personally do not do in real life. And it's applying that look to everyone who's using the filter, and the filters are becoming more and more extreme and more altering. So I do agree that when I look at Instagram, I do feel like I see a similar type of look, but I attribute that to filters. So I think it is super important to understand what your definition of success looks like on social media. And maybe this is something you haven't given a lot of thought to, but for me, standing out is a part of that. And it's never really something that I've been intentional about. It's just something that I was kind of born with. And then I just began to appreciate over the years. But here's what I really want you to understand, that when it comes to space online and in video, there is room for all body types, all looks, all representation of every single shape and size. Why? Because there is an audience for every single type of person. If you feel like you are too heavy to be on camera, and you can be brave enough and have the courage to put yourself on camera, even if you don't have the look that you'd hoped you did or the body that you've defined as successful, think of how many people you can inspire that also don't necessarily love the way that they look right now. And maybe they're struggling with their own self-image or they're in a season of change. Think of how they can be affected by your bravery, of your courage of being willing to stand out and not feeling like you have to blend into this version of success that you may have in your head. If you feel like you have this different crazy hair, embrace that. If you feel like you're eccentric, bring that with you, because there is an audience for everyone. And there are people feeling the same way that you and I are feeling, that we're seeing the same type of filters and the same type of faces and voices over and over again. Well, that means that there is a drastic need for people that stand out from that, from people that are real and that are having the courage to show up as they are. If you feel like all you're seeing are these unrealistically beautiful women, then I want you to feel encouraged to be willing to challenge that and to be willing to step forward and be the relatable version of you that other people are going to be able to relate to. If you see all of this neat tidiness and you're like, I'm messy, who can't relate to Messi? A lot of the people that may be listening to this are most likely creatives. And there's nothing wrong with being a creative and being a little messy and kind of feeling like you're all over the place. Like, there are other creatives that are going to vibe so well with that. They are going to connect with you over the perfectly polished person that maybe that is their look and their aesthetic. Maybe it's even their business. Maybe they help to keep things organized. Like, that could literally be their livelihood. And if yours isn't that, that's okay. Like, there are multiple versions of success. The only one that matters is your definition, the way that you see success. Because if you see success online as being something completely different than yourself, then how are you supposed to be successful online? If you think that all successful TikTokers dance and point and you refuse to dance and point, which is completely fine. I don't dance and point as well. But how are you going to get to that definition of success if it's something so extreme from what you are and what you're willing to try and to do? So success is something that you can redefine at any moment in time. And maybe your definition needs a refresh. Maybe your definition in 2022 needs to look like something that you can actually achieve. When I see success in my own personal business on social media, I see community and connection and engagement and follow numbers. That is what I equate to success. And I know that I have to approach every single video in the manner of, this could go viral and get me thousands of followers. This could get so many views and attract so many people to my page. And even if that hasn't happened yet, I still have to approach it and believe that it can happen, because it's the only way that I can get to my definition of success is by believing that I can get there. Like, no one else can do that for me. I have to believe it in myself. And you have to believe it in yourself too. If you feel like there's misrepresentation in your field, say you're in the fitness field and you feel like everyone has the same body type, all of these successful fitness coaches have the same body type and yours is different, then there is a need for you to be represented in that space, because there are people who are going to be so encouraged by your bravery. There are people that are going to find so much power in your story. And don't think about doing it for yourself. Think about doing it for those people that you can inspire, for those people that need someone to look up to, because your story is going to inspire others. So my next point here, standing out on social media is absolutely, positively a good thing. Every person that I've met hasn't forgotten that I'm a redhead. It's like, help them kind of categorize me, like, oh, redhead. And obviously that's not enough, but it's a good start. It's something that helps me stand out and helps me break away. And then now that they have, okay, Marissa, redhead, I want them to have video. Something about video. I don't know exactly what she does, but I know she's always doing something with video. She's always encouraging and sharing tips and something about video coaching. So even if my first identifier isn't necessarily my business, I'm okay with that, because having just the hair that I have helps me stand out from the pack. And then from there, I need my content to be really good. So standing out is important. And I think it's great, but it's definitely not everything. There definitely needs to be more to your content and to your page than I'm different. There also needs to be something relatable. There also needs to be an edge that you bring to your business, product, service, whatever it is that makes you different and that makes you special and that helps people relate to you. But own what makes you different. Don't feel like you have to blend in to be successful on camera and to do great with video. Own it. Own what makes you different and own what makes you stand out from everyone. And then the last point I have here is if you think that you see a certain type online, how I mentioned that I feel like I do see a very similar type of person when scrolling through Instagram Reels, challenge that thought and sit down and think about someone that is successful that is completely outside of that mold. And I have a couple of examples for you. So two people that I love to watch their content and that I follow and that they bring me joy. Watching their videos brings me joy. And they're both outliers from the stereotypical whatever it is that I feel like I see a ton of. These women are unique and they are different, and I love watching their content. So the first one that comes to mind is Tiffany Jenkins. You guys may know her. She's juggling the Jenkins. She's in Florida as well. So she's someone who's local to me, an area of, I've never met her. I just see her on Facebook all the time. And she just shares these hilarious videos. She shares things that are so relatable. And the reason she stands out to me is because she is not afraid to be unpolished. She will do videos where she is very much fresh faced and her hair will kind of just be messy. And it's not like the polished version of messy. It's like the real life mom of several kids doing an unboxing video and her very natural and just relatable reactions to life. I think she's beautiful in an entirely different way. And she's found success in an entirely different way by not having to necessarily be polished, but by just being real. And she's got an amazing audience. She's got like millions on Facebook. She's written a book. She's like a published author. Like she's done so much. And she has built all of that on being relatable on video and being someone that other people can connect with. And she doesn't have the perfectly contoured face or the perfectly put together life, but it's beautiful what she shares. And I truly get so much joy from her content. And then another one that comes to mind is Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. Barbara, she's the real estate mogul. I love watching her content. She posts the most hilarious videos, and I consider her an outlier because she's not the typical like age that you may think of a successful content creator. But she is very much creating just awesome, hilarious videos that I love to watch. They bring me so much joy. And she is successful in so many ways. And she's allowed herself to create a successful business and take her personality and that business and build her social media presence. She didn't mold herself into what was already doing well on social media. She took who she was, she took the content that she wanted to create, and she's put them into creating her own like category of content creator. And I love watching her. So think about the outliers, the people that you love to watch. Find the people that you relate with and that you connect with and that inspire you, and let that be your encouragement to stand out online. So if you have this definition of success that needs a refresh, I want you to work on that. I really want you to think about what it means. And if it means something so completely different than what you are and the amazingness that you are, then challenge that definition and work on it until it's something that you can achieve. Because if you are in business for yourself, there is some level of you that knows that you can achieve success, that is hungry for success, that is willing to make sacrifices, that is willing to be brave and to do things that may literally terrify you. But you know that the discomfort of those situations that you may put yourself in as an entrepreneur, to you, that is less than the agony of feeling like you are wasting your time at a 9 to 5 and feeling like you can't find where you're supposed to be. So, your definition of success in 2022. Message it to me on Instagram, would you? I would love to know what you define as success right now. And I really hope that this episode like poked a hole at your definition. I hope that it's encouraging you to be like, you know what? She's right. I did have this other image attached to success, but you know what? I'm able to be successful because I'm eccentric, because I stand out, because I have crazy hair that other people are going to remember. If you found this episode encouraging, would you also do me the favor of sharing it on Instagram? If you just want to screenshot it, put it to your stories and tag me in it at Camera Brave and share it with either your platform there or someone that you think may be able to relate to this, someone that inspires you because of their ability to stand out. Quick little side note before I conclude, I am now on TikTok and I am working on taking over TikTok by storm. So if you are on TikTok, would you please do me the honor of following me at Camera Brave over there? I'm brand new to this platform and I started navigating it because I wanted to be able to teach it and to encourage you guys how to use this platform to grow, but I'm actually sort of enjoying it and enjoying the capabilities that it has to offer. So if you would please go and connect with me over there, I would deeply appreciate it. As always, you can find me over at Camera Brave on Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you next time on the Camera Brave Show.